darkness, sitting by traffic, outside in London, just waiting for you. Blackness, flickering flashes.
What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another episode of The What? My name is Eric. Thank you guys for listening, watching, however you're consuming this. I want to say thank you guys for the support. I also want to say thank you guys for supporting the first season of The What. This is the last episode, episode 8 of The What. Like I said before, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support. Me doing this, I didn't think that I would get as much support as I thought I was gonna get, but I did. So yes, thank you guys for everything, commenting, arguing my choices on what I'm talking about or what selections I made in the previous episodes. Just having a conversation about the show has been pretty dope. So yes, thank you guys again. And season 2 is gonna be special. So if you haven't caught up on season 1, please, it's 7 episodes. It's gonna be 8 after this, so it's gonna be 8 episodes, and it's gonna lead into the things we got going for season 2, and it's gonna be very special, I think. So yes, be on the lookout for that. But today's episode, the final episode of the season finale, I will be talking and concluding my top 5 this time with my top 5 albums of all time and then my top 5 songs of all time. Now, I wanted to save these two for last because they were the most difficult to do, especially with the songs. With the songs, I really just stuck to what my top 5 artists of all time, and then my top 5 favorite songs from them. And then the album list I was gonna do a different way, but it turned out to be my top 5 artists have their best albums. That's what it ended up turning into. So yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, my top 5 albums. We can start off with that. So yes, let's start with number 5 for my top 5 albums of all time. And number 5 will be Madvillainy by Madvillain, which is MF Doom and Madlib. MF Doom and Madlib, when they created this, they were definitely doing things recreationally that they probably shouldn't have been doing, but it turned out to be a great piece of art. This is one of those albums where it kind of crept me into the lane of quote unquote weird hip hop with the sounds and what Madlib was doing with those instrumentals, and then how Doom was rapping on it. I think was a perfect marriage. They definitely should have done a sequel to that. I know there was a sequel. It was unofficial though, but a real sequel would have been special. But hey, this is what we got. Madvillainy. Just the songs, creatively thought out. It was like a theme kind of to the album, but it was really the theme of MF Doom and Madlib's weirdness throughout the album, which we go with songs like Figaro, which you got songs like Figaro, you got songs like All Caps, you got songs like Meat Grinder, which all different, 3 completely different types of songs with different flows, but it all fits together on the album perfectly. I just think that this was Doom just rhyming great. This was Madlib providing great music for those rhymes. not much else I could say about it. It's just great rhymes, great raps, and I loved it. So yes. Number 5 is Mad Villainy by Mad Villain, which is MF Doom and Madlib. Now number 4 on my greatest album of all time list, it will be Late Registration by Kanye West. I was really contemplating between this and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think what gives this the edge over that for me is because a little bit of the nostalgia factor with songs like Touch the Sky, Diamonds from Sierra Leone. Those hit me, as a kid more than, of course, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I listened to it in my high school years, freshman year to be specific. But Late Registration, I think when it comes to song making, he was at a peak. Songs with topics like Heard 'Em Say, Roses, Hey Mama, those type of songs, I think, that were prominent on the album led towards it, me picking it as one of my favorites. And then you got songs like Diamonds from Sierra Leone, was just rapping over a hard beat. And then you got, I was going to say something else, but then you got songs like Touch the Sky, like I mentioned before, Gone. You got Coming Home, which was just Kanye production over Common rapping, which was dope. You got the skits, the Broke Five Broke skits that he incorporated in there, which added humor and incorporated into the theme of the album. So, that album, just top to bottom, not one bad song on that album to me. 19 songs, over an hour long. And what's funny is I'm not even a fan of long albums, but Late Registration is one of those special exceptions, just because every track, every skit fit perfectly to me. He really did his thing with the features and introducing us to GLC and, working with Paul Wall, having Brandy on Bring Me Down. Of course, Jay on Diamonds from Sierra Leone, he went off. Nas and Really Doe on We Major. Yeah, it's just wonderful album. I love this album. And it's number 4 on my all-time greatest album list. Now, number 3 on the list will be Biggie's Ready to Die. Ready to Die, along with another album that'll end up being number 1 on the list. Those 2 albums were some of the first rap albums I listened to on my own, and Ready to Die was definitely one of those albums that when I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a great album. Biggie, he was really just, his introduction to the world with this was a hell of an introduction. With just the intro, just Biggie going through different parts of his life and having hip hop songs be an indicator of which era in his life he was in, I thought was pretty genius. And it goes into Things Done Changed. Man, Things Done Changed. That's definitely one of my favorite Biggie songs. To Give Me the Loot. Yeah, I could go through this whole track list, but yeah, Warning, Ready to Die is definitely one of those albums where just almost every song, it just flows together well. Like most of the albums on this list, it flows together well. Biggie's just rapping, and man, it is dope. It definitely is like a time capsule with how the samples are used and the instrumentals and the raps. It definitely feels like you're in mid 90s. It feels like you're in 94 going into 95, and it's giving you history lessons through his point of view, not literally history, but showing his history and his point of view, which I enjoyed. A lot of people will lean towards Life After Death, I feel, but I think Ready to Die is just a little bit better. And I think because it's shorter, it didn't have much time for there to be songs that were unnecessary, even though I will say the sex skit on here was not good. I did not like. Well, it was two sex skits. I didn't like either one of those. But if I'm taking away from that, I thought this was a great album. Uh, One of my favorite Biggie albums of all time, of course. Well, he only has two official, but this was definitely my favorite. And of course, The What by Method Man. I can't not mention that. So, yeah, shout out to Biggie for the name. Yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, The What with Method Man, which Method Man goes off. And yes, that is my number 3 on the list. Ready to Die by Biggie. Now, my number 2 album of all time on my list is Inner Visions by Stevie Wonder. Now, a lot of people put Songs in the Key of Life over Inner Visions, which I don't blame them at all. Songs in the Key of Life is great. I love it, of course. But I feel like Inner Visions, first of all, it is a short album. It's 44 minutes, 9 tracks. So that lean towards me liking it more than Songs in the Key of Life. And then again, almost every song on here is perfect, from Too High to Visions, Living for the City. Oh, Living for the City. That's like a cinematic track all the way through. But yeah, his songwriting was great. I just can't get over the fact that this man was blind, writing the songs he was writing and doing almost all the instruments for this album. I just thought it was incredible. If you're not familiar with the singles off of here, Higher Ground, Don't You Worry About a Thing, Living for the City, come on. Almost every, even a song like Golden Lady, which was very unexpected when I first listened to it. Just the way he was singing it, the way the pianos is played throughout it, just all the instruments he incorporated on that track, and then the other tracks, of course. But yeah, this was during his classic run, so yes, of course, it's a classic. Yeah, there's not much I could say about it. He's Mr. Know-It-All is definitely shots at Richard Nixon. If he had said his name, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy if he said his name. But yeah, Inner Vision is number 2 on my all-time favorite albums list. Inner Visions by Stevie Wonder. Now, my number 1 favorite album of all time. And I'm not going to say it's not close, because Inner Visions is pretty close. It's neck and neck. But I'm going with this album because it was more... It's the album I mentioned before with Ready to Die that got me into hip-hop. So that number 1 is Illmatic by Nas. Illmatic. To me, just the perfect combination of rapping and beats. I know I mentioned that with Mad Villainy before, but this was the pinnacle of just rapping and beats. And he wasn't just working with one producer. This is the first album in hip hop where it's multiple producers working on one album, from Q-Tip, Large Professor. He had I'm losing track. Q-Tip on here. He just had a bunch of producers that just did their thing. Pete Rock, of course. Yeah, just almost every song is just perfect. 10 tracks, 40 minutes. Like, come on, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. You got New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours, Life Is a Bitch, Memory Lane, One Love, One Time for Your Mind. To get a Michael Jackson sample? Are you kidding me? For your debut album? And the only stipulation that Mike had was for you not to curse, and he didn't curse, and the rap still turned out to be what it was. I would say just go listen to that track alone. If you doubt the album, just go listen to that. Listen to It Ain't Hard to Tell, and then tell me that you don't want to listen to the rest of that album. Yeah, I didn't think so. Go listen to that. It Ain't Hard to Tell. But nah, just yeah, this is an album I could talk about all day as well. But AZ's verse on Life's a Bitch, come on, one of the greatest guest verses of all time. If you haven't heard that, listen to that after you listen to It Ain't Hard to. Well, I would prefer you listen to it in order. But if you're one of those, I'm not listening to the album in order, blah, blah, blah. Listen to It Ain't Hard to Tell. Then listen to Life's a Bitch. And then start from the beginning. Yeah. Excellent album. Very nostalgic to me. My favorite album of all time. The first rap album I listened to all the way through. So yes, that is Illmatic by Nas is my number 1. My number 5 is Madvillainy by Madvillain, which is MF Doom and Madlib. My number 4 is Late Registration by Kanye West. My number 3 is Ready to Die by Biggie. My number 2 is Inner Visions by Stevie Wonder. And my number 1 is Illmatic by Nas. So now we get to the last part of this episode, which is my top 5 songs of all time. Now, I said this in the intro, but I'm going to reiterate it. These 5 songs are from my top 5 artists of all time. If this was just, songs, it would have been much harder if I did, just songs like outside of them and, taken into different, consideration. But just to keep it simple, these are my top 5 songs of all time from my top 5 artists of all time. But I'll just say top 5 songs of all time. So number 5 on my list of favorite songs of all time is Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West. Can't Tell Me Nothing is, when I think of Kanye West, this is literally the song I think of. Can't Tell Me Nothing. From the la, 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 wait till I get my money right. Then the beat drops and that sample comes in, which shout out to DJ Tomp. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tomp. DJ Tomp. Yeah, don't kill me for the pronunciation, but shout out DJ Tomp. Kanye, he basically took his beat and did like little remixes to it because Jeezy was supposed to be on it. That's why Jeezy has his ad libs. But yeah, that song is just timeless, if you ask me. I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. Like, those are just timeless lines that anybody could relate to, honestly. It's like, you just think about the concept of buying your way to heaven, but instead of saving your money, doing what's right, you went and bought it on a necklace. It happens. It happens. But yeah, it's just, man, I could go through lyric by lyric with this song. Well, I could do it with any of the songs on this list, but yeah, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Kanye West, that is number 5. From production to the lyrics to just Kanye being Kanye. Thought it was great, especially that third verse. Hold on, let me read you some of that third verse. Let the champagne splash. Let that man get cash. Let that man get past. He don't even stop to get cast. He can move through the rumors. He can drive off of fumes. Cause how he move in a room full of no's. How he stay faithful in a room full of hoes. Must be the pharaohs. He in tune with his soul. So when he buried in a full tomb full of gold. Treasure, what's your pleasure? Life is depending on how you dress her. It's just, man. He was talking on that song, but yes. Number 5, Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West. Number 4 on the list is Rhinestone Cowboy by Madvillainy, which is MF Doom and Madlib. I think almost every song on the album is perfect, but for some reason, Rhinestone Cowboy just speaks to me, from the sample used to it being a closing track and the applause in the song, to Doom rapping, hold a cold one like he hold an old gun, like he hold the microphone and stole the show for fun, or a foe for ransom, flows is handsome, O's in tandem, anthem, random, tantrum. Like, just the way he's rhyming these words with each other, and then how he's doing it with the beat is insane. Just MF Doom rhyming in general is insane. Just MF Doom rhyming in general is insane, but him particularly on this song with the beat, I thought was just something special. But no, Rhinestone Cowboy, it's too many rhymes in it, for literally too many rhymes for the Rhinestone Cowboy. But yeah, just the way he's rhyming, he's just, the flow with the rhyme is just too smooth. The way he executes it is incredible. I love it. Rhinestone Cowboy by Madvillain, which is Doom, and which is Doom and Madlib, which they comprise themselves as Madvillain. But yeah, that song is incredible, and it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list for greatest songs of all time is Stevie Wonder's As. This honestly could be number 1, if not for the 2 songs that held deepest in my heart, which you would already know comes from Biggie and Nas. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But As, come on. As could be contender for the greatest song ever across the board. Like, if people are in the know and you ask them the greatest song of all time and As doesn't come up, they're tripping. Just from the lyrics. As the sun and the earth know she's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May, just as hate knows love is the cure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. Come on. He's basically saying, I'm going to love you till the world is no more. Till everybody's dead and we up in heaven. Till the oceans run high as the mountains. To the sun revolving and basically stopping one day. Man, until the dolphins fly and parrots live at sea. Until we dream of life and life becomes a dream. Oh, come on. Just those lyrics, man. Stevie Wonder could have been a rapper. He could have been rapping. Spitting bars at y'all. But he decided to sing to make sure y'all rappers had a chance. It was not like rap was a thing back then. But he could have been. He could have been. But yeah, As, if you don't know As, just look it up. I don't have much to say about that song. Lyrics are incredible. Background vocals. Him doing his vocals and then having, Herbie Hancock do instrumental, and this guy, that guy. It's just everyone that contributed to the song did a great job. So yes, thank you guys for that contribution. And of course, thank you, Stevie Wonder, for such a wonderful song, which is As by Stevie Wonder. which is number 3. Number 2 on the list. This one was definitely one of the more difficult ones because it was like, okay, how do I find this guy's song that speaks to me the most? It could have been a few choices, but I chose Machine Gun Funk, the original Machine Gun Funk with the Parliament Funkadelic sample. Not that BS that's on streaming services, which they removed the sample. No. You need to go on YouTube. Better yet, get the CD. Well, it's 25. No one wants to get a CD, but just go on YouTube, look up Machine Gun Funk original, listen to that. That's my favorite Biggie song. Just the raps, which most of these, of course, the raps are going to be incredible. But, man, the way he was rapping. So you want to be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the gats in your raps, but I can't feel that hardcore appeal that you're screaming. Maybe I'm dreaming. This St. Christopher Williams, still some. MC's got to fill one. Caps, I got to pill some. Got to pill some caps. Biggie was peeling caps on Machine Gun Funk. Sticks and stones break bones, but they gotta kill you quicker, especially when I'm drunk off the liquor. Just the way he was rapping that stuff. The way he was rapping that, like, Biggie was incredible. For it to be 94 and him doing what he was doing, man, he was special. And it was almost like a storytelling track within the track when it was not supposed to be a story, really. But yeah, I could have chose a lot of songs from Ready to Die. Anything on Ready to Die could have been on this list. I almost put Juicy on the list, honestly, but Machine Gun Funk, the sample, the ruthless rhymes, the way he was doing it, that had to be up there. So yes, Machine Gun Funk is number 2. My number 1 favorite song of all time is New York State of Mind by Nas. And when he said in the beginning he didn't know how to start this, he was lying. He knew exactly how to start it. Rappers, I monkey flip them with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding the M16. See with the pen, I'm extreme. Man, I just love rap, hip hop. I love that shit. But yeah, he was just on some Cloud 9 type of rhyming with his. And how he was basically telling a story with the rhyme, which I never realized it at the time, but he was basically telling what is the New York state of mind outside of, his project window, and him giving us the story of that. Man, it was definitely dope to hear. Not a crazy hook. It was just New York State of Mind, and then DJ Premier with the scratches. It wasn't supposed to be any, wasn't supposed to be an intricate type of song structure. Just give me dope raps. Throw in a little hook there to give people a break, and then back to the raps, which I love. But yeah, New York State of Mind. Even New York State of Mind Part 2, I'm going to give that a shout out, which was on I Am, I think. Yeah, New York State of Mind Part 2 was dope. Even though it was like, when I first seen that he made a Part 2, I was like, I don't know, because the first one is so dope, but that turned out to be dope. But no, nothing beats the original New York State of Mind. That song is classic. Nothing else like it. The World Is Yours almost made it on here. So that would be a quote unquote honorable mention. But no, New York State of Mind, The smooth criminal on beat breaks. Never put me in your box if your shit eats tapes. The city never sleeps, full of villains and creeps. That's where I learned to do my hustle. Had to shuffle with freaks. I'm an addict for sneakers, 20 of booty and bitches with beepers. In the streets I can greet you, about blunts I teach you. And held deep as the word of my breath. I never sleep, 'cause sleep is the cousin of death. Have we heard sleep is the cousin of death before that? I don't think so. But yes, Nas invented sleep is the cousin with death. Sleep is the cousin of death. Nas invented sleep is the cousin of death. And I'ma not look up the facts just in case it's not true. But I'm going to say he did that. I'm going to say Nas invented sleep is the cousin of death. And that comes from New York State of Mind, which is my number one song of all time. So number 5 is Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West. Number 4 is Rhinestone Cowboy by Mad Villain, which is MF Doom and Mad Lib. Number 3 is As by Stevie Wonder. Number 2, Machine Gun Funk by Biggie. And number 1, New York State of Mind by Nas. So yes, that was my top 5 albums of all time with my top 5 songs of all time. And this is the last episode of the What's Season 1. And like I said before, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for commenting, liking, sharing, discussing it. Tell me you disagreed with me. I want to thank you guys for all the interactions. I appreciate every single one of you guys. But yeah, season 2 is definitely going to be something special. I'm definitely going to get more creative with certain things. You're going to see certain things get incorporated that I didn't get a chance to do with this season, but this season definitely taught me a lot. And it taught me how to, well, I'm not going to say too much, but yes, the season 1 taught me a lot. And I'm going to incorporate my lessons in the season 2. And yes, this was season finale of The What. Thank you guys for listening, tuning in, watching however you consuming this. And I'm out. See you for season 2. Peace.
I lost something I couldn't live without. My identity.